Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will call this meeting of the Woodford County Fiscal Court to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Squire Taylor.
Here.
Squire Gentry.
Here.
Squire Varner.
Here.
Squire Carl.
Here.
Squire Downey.
Here.
Squire Blackford.
Present.
Squire Gill.
Here.
Squire Russell.
Tonight, offering our invocation is Pastor Joe Lauderdale of Living Grace Church. Pastor Lauderdale, if you don't mind to turn on the mic, please.
Pray with me. Lord, we are grateful for another day, for another opportunity to work and to serve you. Lord, we pray that you are a part of this meeting in a very tangible way. Lord, let them lead and make decisions with holy discernment, Lord, and with divine wisdom as they have to take on the massive job of handling this community and all the things they can do for this community. God, I bless you. Pray all of those that fall under the sound of my voice with all of your goodness and all the positive things you have in store for Woodford County. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Lauderdale, and I'd like to recognize Pastor Lauderdale and Living Grace Church for opening the warming station here in Woodford County and taking care of those in need. It is a monumental task. It's something that a lot of folks had talked about, but they stepped up to do, and Pastor Lauderdale is leading that effort, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Would you please rise, if you're able, for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to put the public comment right after the good of the county because we do have a very special guest with us this evening. Mr. Cole Tanner is with us, and we're going to recognize Cole. If you would, please stand up. It is with great pride and admiration that we recognize the exemplary achievements of Cole Jeffrey Tanner, a distinguished member of our community and a beacon of leadership in the scouting world. Cole's commitment to the ideals of the Boy Scouts of America has demonstrated through his dedicated service and leadership roles, including but not limited to patrol leader, troop guide, chaplain aide, and senior patrol leader, showcasing Cole's unwavering dedication to the principles of scouting in our community. Cole's lasting impact on our community is vividly embodied in his Eagle Scout Service Project, where he worked diligently with the Jack Jewett Historical Site to enhance our historical significance at the site by establishing a walking trail and constructing a footbridge, showcasing his crafting ability and his ability to lead and inspire others on behalf of service to Woodford County. Cole's service extends beyond scouting, as evidenced by his active involvement in the HOSA Future Health Professionals chapter at Woodford County High, where he is consistently engaged in health-related community service projects, events, and showcasing his commitment to the well-being of our entire community. Cole's leadership qualities have been acknowledged by his selection and recognition in the National Honor Society, as well as his receipt of the HOBY Leadership Recognition Program, underscoring the outstanding character and positive influence of this great young Woodford Countian. Cole's dedication to the betterment of our community and Woodford County is exemplified every day through his gold standard of service and his love for our community. Woodford County is forever grateful, and it is today that we recognize our Eagle Scout, a great young Woodford County and future leader, Mr. Cole Tanner. If you would, please. If you would, I'd like to present this to you and your family. Thank them for being here as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And if you would, you'd turn around for a photo real quick. You got it, Scott? Thanks.
Congratulations.
Cole, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're so proud of you. I would open up the floor for any remarks you have for the community.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you guys. I'm a part of Troop 43. This is the 90th year of Troop 43, and I'm the 70th Eagle Scout. I've greatly been able to serve my community and help become a leader, and I'm greatly appreciated and honored to be here, and Thank y'all.
Thank you, Cole. You want to introduce your family that are with us?
This is my parents, my mother, my father, and this is my younger brother, which hopefully soon will be another Eagle Scout.
Well, just like we keep the banner up for champions, we'll keep the podium open for future Eagle Scouts. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of the troop and the troop's leadership and you and your family. And thank you all for being here. You're more than welcome to stay for our court meeting, but you're also more than welcome to go enjoy this beautiful Woodford County evening. We're very, very proud of you, Cole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, members of the court, for that indulgence. It is always so great to see wonderful young Woodford Countyans inspiring us and to set the gold standard of what it means to be an active and productive citizen. Speaking of productive citizens, we have the chair of the Woodford County Library Board with us, Mr. Mo Bakke, who would like to address the court, and we'll give him that opportunity to do that.
Thank you, Judge. I'm here on behalf of a group of citizens out in the Nonesuch community to address the magistrates and the judge executive. The abandoned Kentucky River Channel runs through Nonesuch. It runs through the Little Farm. It runs through my property. It crosses there where the culvert is going into the cave. 15 million years ago, the Kentucky River ran there. And the state geologist, Gilson, in the late 40s, proved it by 13 different locations along that path that the river had been there. We're asking the support of the court and the judge executive to apply for a highway sign that recognizes a historical geological location. Out of Woodford County, there's only 3 historical signs south of the city of Versailles. This would make the 4th. Plus, it's not about a person, it's not about a battle, it's not about a place. It's about a geological point of history that actually was there. We are funded by ourselves, the neighborhood, which consists of the Nonesuch Fossil Museum, the little unheard of group of the Nonesuch Society of Clear Thinking, and the neighborhood of the Nonesuchians down to the river. A very interesting point of this report, in the report, he noted that the tree at the intersection of Oregon Road and Patterson Road was one of his starting points to find out where the riverbed was. So, with that, I ask for your support that we make the application, and hopefully we'll have another tourist attraction in South Woodford County. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mo. And I would ask if there is a motion to support the recommendation for the Woodford County Fiscal Court to support said application. Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Blackford. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none. I know Jackie's been around a long time, but not the Pliocene epic. I know that. Right, Jackie?
About 46. I was born in 47.
Born in 47. So, any other questions or comments? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion on the table, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Bakke. We appreciate it very much. Does anybody else have any public comment? Anybody wishing to seek to address the court or the public? Seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the special meeting of February 27th. We also have the regular meeting minutes thereof. Are there any additions, corrections, or questions regarding any of the minutes? Are there any objections to the same? Seeing none. Seeing no objections, I'll approve the minutes without objection. Moving on to our committee reports, the Budget and Finance Committee met. We took a recommendation for the road material bids as suggested by the road supervisor, Bo Wilson, and that was a unanimous recommendation to the court to adopt the road material bids. Is there a, is there a motion to accept the road material bids as recommended by the road supervisor and unanimously recommended by the Budget and Finance Committee.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Gill. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. We will take up the youth softball lease in later unfinished business. We also accepted the draft of the coroner's budget and the animal control budget. And I'd like to give a big shout out to ACO Emily Katner, who is working very hard in animal control. She's extremely busy with the demand, the workload, and she's doing an excellent job in her first budget as well, Emily. So if anybody has any questions on those budgets, I recommend you contact our coroner or ACO Katner. We discussed a few other things, including the salary information for the food pantry executive director. There is a job description there. And as I mentioned in the Budget and Finance Committee, the City of Versailles, through the mayor and City of Midway, along with myself, will budget to fund an executive director position at the Woodford County Food Pantry in this budget. And this is the second opportunity we've had to discuss that. The additional budget information was discussed, but we'll take up the action items in later business. Any questions on the committee report? Seeing none, we'll move to the report of the treasurer. Our treasurer is with us via Zoom. I mentioned that earlier. The only item that we have from the treasurer is the House Bill 1 Jail Arraignment Equipment Resolution 2024-04. That's a grant application in the amount of $44,018.78 for the HB1 project funding through the Department of Local Government. Is there a motion to adopt that resolution for those grant funds? Motion by Squire Gill, second by Squire Brown. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. Next, I'd like to invite our county clerk, Madam Sandy Jones, to the podium. The last time she was at court, I mentioned that she was busy, but what I meant to say is she's working extremely hard on many different things. You got to deal with CAVIS and the upcoming election and all the general business in your office, and you're just doing a spectacular job, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Have a few
you.
things going on.
just a few. Would you like us to go ahead and accept your quarterly report?
Yes, please.
Could I have a motion for the same?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Taylor. Are there any questions on accepting the quarterly report for the county clerk ending December 31, 2023? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting same, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the quarterly report is accepted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I may, I have one other item that I'd like to discuss with you this evening.
Yes, please.
I had a discussion with Judge Kay about the strong recommendation that our last auditor gave us regarding the preferred method that this office should be paying for the postage for the mailed absentee ballots. The auditor read through all the county ordinances that pertain to fee pooling, and he thought it would be a good idea to amend the ordinance number 2006-01 that establishes a system for the county clerk and the sheriff to operate under the purchase order system. Judge Kay and I talked about it, and he suggested that maybe an easier way to handle that would be that I would use a credit card to capture of the fiscal court to capture these expenses, since all the election expenses are to be paid by the fiscal court. So if I could, I'd like to bring this before you tonight to get your approval for me to be able to use the credit card just for that purpose.
And I really appreciate the clerk's due diligence in regards to this matter. I mean, we could, the treasurer actually is the keeper of any sort of instrument, but particularly the credit card, and we could have approved that, but I appreciate her coming before the court, making sure that we get everything clear, just in case an auditor has a question. Of course, the elections budget is the fiscal court's budget. We work on that with the county clerk. These are our funds that we budget for this, and I think this is probably the most efficient and appropriate way to do that. So I'd entertain a motion for the approval of the posted expenses for all absentee ballots as they are presented, and to permit the county clerk to use the credit card for payment for same.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Brown. Are there any questions for the county clerk? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion on the table, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. And Madam Clerk, you want to talk about the election dates? Just
I
to get them in
do.
front of everybody again and again and again.
Yes. I have the information sheets that I usually prepare every year, so I'd like to pass these down so you can have these dates. I'll also have some over here for everyone else to pick up. You're welcome. I spoke with Scott White a moment ago and told him that I had misquoted a date. I didn't have a calendar in front of me when we were talking, so this corrects the dates of our early voting out at Falling Springs. It's the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Yeah. But other than that, all the dates are the same, and it's everything that we had already discussed. And our postcards will be going out soon. They'll be bringing that matter before you soon about the expense of the postcards once I get that final amount. So we're right on target.
Excellent. We will make sure to distribute that far and wide, promote that on our Facebook, encourage our magistrates to encourage your constituents to make sure. This will be the first election since our redistricting process.
Yes.
And it is projected to be a very low turnout for the primary elections in Kentucky, and so we really would encourage Woodford Countyans to go vote, make your voice heard. A lot of folks have fought and died for that right, for us to go to the polls and exercise our rights, so we encourage everybody to vote. It doesn't matter what's on the ballot. Everything is important in a democracy to be voting on. So thank you, Madam Clerk. Anything additional?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate all your hard work. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. I'll move on to the EMS. We have our Director, Freeman Bailey, with us. Has got two items. The first I'll dispense with for you, Director Bailey. We need to surplus some old stretchers, and for those items to be disposed of at the Woodford County Recycling Center. I need a motion to approve that surplus of the stretchers. Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Brown. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Next, you have an out-of-state travel request, Director Bailey.
Yes, sir. We have a request for Assistant Director Kent Berry and myself to go to the FDIC, which is held in Indianapolis. It's where all the new equipment comes out. It's one of the biggest conferences near us. So we'd like to go to be able to see what's new and what cost savings we can bring back to the county as we have to purchase equipment, medical supplies, and things like that. It's also an educational opportunity for us as well.
Is there a motion to approve the out-of-state travel request for Freeman Bailey and Kent Berry of the EMS?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Varner, second by Squire Gentry. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries. The next item would be, anything else, Director Bailey?
No, sir. Thank you.
I would just say that Director Bailey has worked hard on his budget. He kind of keeps a year-long budget process in the works, and we're getting close to release that draft budget to you all as well. So, thank you. Thank you, Director Bailey. Director Drew Chandler, Emergency Management.
Thank you, Judge. I have one request tonight. That is to receive the court's permission to apply for another hazard mitigation grant. We've been really successful with those over the last few years. The scope of work for this one would be to place safe rooms at 3 different county parks throughout the county. I've already been before the City of Midway and the City of Versailles and received their support for an intergovernmental grant application. The details of the request were in your packets ahead of time, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you have at this time.
Are there any questions of the Director? Is there a motion to authorize emergency management to make application for an intergovernmental safe room hazard mitigation grant?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Gill.
Judge, I would add that last night I had the opportunity to present to the Parks Board, and they had no objections to this project.
Excellent, excellent. There's a motion on the table. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Judge.
Director. We have maintenance. Director Wade, I think I can handle this. We need to approve the amended scope of work provided by Bates Security for the upgraded UL-rated fire panels at the Jack Jewett House and the Visitor Center as well. Is there a motion to approve the amended scope of work? Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Taylor. I would just note that Rick is very diligent in working on these things and tries to negotiate the best deal for the county. We don't just take we don't take what they provide, and he really tries to get a good deal, which Director Bailey does a lot of that as well. We really appreciate that type of stuff. It saves the county money. Our clerk, Jordan Coyle, as well, works on these things, and they do a lot of the legwork to get this stuff ready for the court. But I want to thank them for their attention to detail, and specifically their attention to saving county dollars. Is there a motion to? There is a motion. Is there? Everybody ready to vote? Anybody have any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Next, we have recycling and solid waste. We have our household hazardous waste grant application, and we have with us Director McDaniel. Thanks for being with us.
It's time to apply for that grant again, and it is one of our most favorite events. We think it's very well received, so we just would like the permission to apply.
And Sherry, do you have a potential date when you will have that this year?
We generally have those in September. We usually, when we start working with the vendor, we try to have a couple of dates, but we stick with usually the second or third week in September. We won't know more until we find out who the vendor will be. So, but we shoot for September.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Director McDaniel. And I entertain a motion to approve the application for the household hazardous waste management grant by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Brown. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Last year we had 620 vehicles through our facility in 8 hours.
Pretty awesome.
That was a pretty big one, but
And I know people call us year round asking when that's going to be.
we
They're
have
holding
it
their
all the
paint
time.
cans. And,
All the time. When's your paint day?
Thank you, Sherry. We really appreciate it. The next, I'd like to discuss a road matter. We went into executive session in our committee of the whole last time about a potential road claim. I'm just going to let you all know that we don't have any action on that we need to get some additional information on that claim, and we'll provide that to the court. The county attorney has been brought up to speed on that as well. But I want to take a moment to recognize Road Supervisor Bo Wilson. I know we've been recognizing the road department regularly lately, but it's because they continue to do big and important things. You all will know that the Hiffner Road Bridge was damaged by a semi, and the state had to shut that bridge down because it impacted the metal truss. We looked at getting a contractor, shutting the bridge down, spending a lot of time, but Bo Wilson is a skilled welder. He was able to go and fix that piece of metal on that bridge himself with his own skills and the work of the men of the road department, and we were able to do that work. He put all other jobs aside, went and worked on the bridge himself. Not many road supervisors or road engineers in the state can do that, and we have one as a skilled tradesman in Bo Wilson that did that for us on the Hiffner Road Bridge. We were able to get that bridge back open in a little over a week's time. So I want to give a big shout out to our road supervisor, Bo Wilson. I would Also add that you all know that the Black Barn at the Woodford County Fairgrounds was damaged in the March 3rd windstorm of last year, and we had to raise that building, which the road department undertook under their own, under Bo Wilson's supervision, and with the help of the maintenance department, Rick Wade, and the road department were able to pour the pad and begin building that structure. Again, these are talents that most counties would contract out, and we have folks in-house who can do this work. And so, Bo, we really appreciate you and the crews and all the hard work, because they're, in addition to everything else on their agenda, they're stopping and putting these projects in their queue. It's saving the county time, money, and you're getting excellent craftsmanship and skills. So, again, thank you, Mr. Road Supervisor. And you are more than welcome to be excused. I know you had a few other things to do, but we wanted to make sure to give you recognition for that. So, thank you, Bo. So but the semis need to not go over the Hiffner Bridge now. We don't want to be doing this. We just had to do it. And thank goodness we can do it. Does any other department or agency seek to address the court or have any business? Seeing none, I'd move to general orders and the unfinished business. I do have a recommendation from the PVA, Mr. John Paul Coyle, to appoint Corey Cooley to the Assessment Appeals Board for a 2-year term effective May 1st, 2024. I would entertain a motion to accept that recommendation as recommended by myself and the PVA.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Taylor. Second by Squire Gentry. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. We do have the Northeast Water District term that expires May 1st, 2024. But we will likely put someone in there. When Mr. Brothers, Ken Brothers, passed away, we always leave the vacancy open out of reverence and respect for the individual and their family. But I will try to have an appointment for the Northeast Water District, even to fill that small term at our next meeting. Next item, the bills to be paid by this county are before you. Are there any questions or comments on any of the bills to be paid? Seeing none, are there any objections to any of the bills to be paid? Also seeing none, I will approve the bills to be paid without objection. We have a couple Sheriff's Office Asset Forfeiture Fund claims. The first being for Southern Communication and Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $984.43. Is there a motion to approve that claim?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Taylor. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. The next item for the Sheriff's Asset Forfeiture Funds is for the Covert Tracking Group, Inc. in the amount of $3,415. Is there a motion to approve that claim? Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Gill. We have our sheriff with us. Any questions for the sheriff? Squire Taylor, you're recognized.
Judge, I just want to thank the Sheriff's Office for their responsible use of the resources given to them. We had our magistrates conference last week, and I was on a panel, and we received a question about what do you do when your sheriff keeps coming back asking for more and more money. And I said we've got the inverse of that, and we really appreciate your all's great stewardship. So thank you.
Love that forfeiture money.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I appreciate you bringing up that point. I think the one of the things that I would hope our community knows is that these funds come from combating the drug epidemic and fighting the drugs that are coming into our community. And our sheriff, his leadership, and our deputies, they do a tremendous job with that work. You know, we also contract with the Versailles Police Department, but we have the best sheriff's office in the state, and they're doing important work on one of the most important fronts in our community, and that's fighting the drug epidemic. We really appreciate it, and the success is shown by their ability to fund their office and not ask for additional taxpayer revenue. Thank you, Mr. Sheriff.
Thank you.
There is a motion on the table to approve the claim for covert tracking. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Is there a motion to approve the transfers as presented to this court? Motion by Squire Gill, second by Squire Carl. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. We have a personnel order. It is usually pretty rare that we would amend that in close proximity, but we did add the animal control officer, Cameron Filger, will be moved to part-time. I've approved her going part-time, as she will also work part-time at the Anderson County EMS as an EMT. She received her EMT certification, and so she'll be working part-time in her home county over there. And but this personnel order reflects that she will go part-time as our animal control officer. And I would also continue to mention that puts a lot more work and responsibility on ACO Katner, and she steps up and does the job every day, and we really, really appreciate it, big time.
I have
Squire
a
Carl.
comment for Emily. You know, Emily, I only called her, I don't even know how many times in like a 48-hour period. I kept finding dogs everywhere, and I mean, it was like I rescued them, and I'm like, what do I do with them? What do I do with them? And Emily, I'm calling her, and then I figured it was a sign for me to go get another dog, you know, after we lost little Archie. So I don't know. You know, I'm there. But thank you, because you answered me immediately. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you all will see in your budget items that the amount of pickups, animal pickups, is increased. So thank you again. That's the only addition that came later on the personnel order. I'm sure you all saw that, but I want to draw it to your attention. Any other questions or comments regarding the personnel order? The others are EMS is doing some hiring and taking care of some other business. Is there a motion to approve same?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Gentry, second by Squire Carl. Seeing no other questions or comments, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. The next item is the youth softball request. Again, Dr. Les Anderson, coach of the Woodford County softball team, came and presented at our Budget and Finance Committee because they have a game tonight. So the girls are taking the field, and I really appreciate Phyllis Mattingly's hard work on all of the legal documents related to their agreement and their mortgage. So I now open up to the court for any discussion of the youth softball request. Squire Carl, you're recognized.
Yes, again, I just want to put Phyllis, thank you for this. You have really kind of another work put into this to protect us and them, and I appreciate it, and it's definitely a good cause. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a preference of the fiscal court to take this request up? Do you have additional questions for the county attorney? The ball is in your court.
Make a motion.
So any motion to approve the request would be to approve the agreement between City National Bank,
Yes.
Kentucky Youth Softball Inc., and the fiscal court giving consent to the commercial leasehold mortgage and the Second Amendment to the lease between the fiscal court and the Kentucky Youth Softball Inc., and to authorize the judge executive and court clerk to sign any and all documents related thereto.
Sounds just like my motion. Thanks, Judge.
That's what I thought I heard. We have a motion and a second. Now I'd like to open up the floor for any additional discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. We have two neighborhood agreements. You would note that we, in addition to our application, once it's been contingently approved, in order to create an understanding and a legal record of that agreement, we have Marywood's neighborhood grant agreement and the Village's neighborhood grant agreement. Are there any questions or comments regarding either? Squire Verner, would you like to move that Marywood's be adopted and authorized?
Yes, Judge, I so move.
We have a motion. Motion second by Squire Blackford. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. Squire Carl, would you like to do the same for the Village's neighborhood
Yes, sir.
agreement?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second on the table. Seeing no discussions or questions, all those in favor, excuse me, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. Next, we have the KIA Grant Agreement and Resolution 2024-03, accepting the grant and approving the assistance agreement between KIA and the Woodford County Fiscal Court for the Northeast Cleaner Water Project. Squire Gentry, would you like to recommend the motion to adopt that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Open up the floor for any discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Madam Clerk, I do believe there is a signature for the county attorney in those documents as well. Excuse me. Mr. County Attorney, do you need a motion from the court for your signature thereon, or would you review that?
That you have, since you've been on it. I just do it as part and parcel of that.
Excellent. So we will move forward as that being part of the resolution. We need to make an addendum to the Kentucky League of Cities software. They changed it from KLC QuickPay to Muni Software Solutions. So we need an addendum to that software use agreement, which I have found to be in order. So is there a motion to approve the addendum of the software use agreement between the League of Cities and the Fiscal Court, changing the name to KLC QuickPay to Muni Software Solutions?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Gill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Squire Taylor, you're recognized.
Did we need different motions on the agreement and the resolution for the KIA, or were they? Okay, sorry, I forgot that. Thank you.
As good measure, I'll just take a motion. Squire Gentry?
Second.
Second. We're just making sure that our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted, so we have an additional motion to approve not only the resolution and the assistance agreement.
Judge, I just don't want to miss out on any money.
That's right. Two motions never hurt anything unless they conflict, but I don't think they will. All those in favor of the motion on the table, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries, maybe again. We have the project graduation facility use request for the use of Falling Springs for project graduation May 25th, 2024, with the date being subject to change for the 2024 graduating class. Is there a motion for approval of same?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Carl, second by Squire Gentry. All those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. We have the Perfection Group's request of the approval of a 179D tax deduction form for the Perfection Group as presented. Is there a motion to approve same?
Motion.
Motion by Squire Brown, second by Squire Carl. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to the Sheriff's Tax Settlement Audit. You have that before you. Is there a motion to accept same into the record? Motion by Squire Gill, second by Squire Blackford. Any questions for the sheriff? Seeing none, all those in favor, please vote and signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion carries unanimously. Madam Clerk, have we covered all the business on this agenda? You'll note that in new business, we approved the road material bids both through the committee and in old business, or committee reports rather. So I'll move on to announcements. I'll start with Squire Brown. Squire Taylor?
Nothing, Judge, thanks.
Yes, sir. Squire Gentry?
Nothing, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Squire Varner?
Yes, sir, Judge, thank you. Just wanted to let you know we lost a great Woodford Countyan that owns a farm on Shannon Run Road, Mr. Louis Hagan. He passed last week, and he was a great advocate for agriculture in this county and across the state. Also part of the founding families of Keeneland Racecourse, and he's going to be greatly missed across the county of Fayette and Woodford, and just to I've been with that family since 2004, and he was like a mentor to me, and a great person. If anybody knew him, his sense of humor and his stories is far and wide. So we're going to miss him, but I just want to let everybody know, Mr. Hagan. Thank you.
Thank you, Squire Varner. I know that's personal to you and your family and your profession. And he was a legend, Mr. Louis Hagan, and we will offer a moment of silence and our prayers and our thoughts with Mr. Hagan's family, if you would, please. Amen. Thank you, Squire Varner. Squire Carl.
Yes, Judge, I just wanted to say I think all of us were there in attendance this week in our training, our conference we had, and we had two of our magistrates, yes, that presented, Lyles and William, and they both did an excellent job. So it was nice Woodford County was well represented this week, and so good job, guys.
Yeah, excellent job. Thank you, Squire Carl. Squire Downey.
Thank you, Judge. Just a couple items. The nonprofit roundtable is hosted this Thursday, the 14th, down at the Chamber office Thursday morning. Burger Mania kicks off March 15th through the 25th, so you get 2 weekends out of that. So be on the lookout for all of our local offerings throughout the county. The Woodford County Expungement Clinic is going on at Versailles Baptist Church March 19th from 2 to 4 p.m. And then lastly, the library still has their community survey available online, or you can visit the library, but that's open until March 22nd. I think they're just looking for public input on how they can better serve the community.
Thank you, Squire Downey. Squire Black.
How about just like
Thank you. Squire Gill.
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. County Attorney, sir.
No, thank you, Judge.
Anything for the paper? Any questions we can work out for you?
Just keep buying ads.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the.
We'll say
Okay, all right. You're recognized.
I just wanted to express my gratitude to Judge Kay for renewing his subscription to the Woodford Sun after perhaps his office receiving a few months of free paper. So we appreciate that.
I thought we were already on, so.
You know those little reminder cards that just get lost, people's offices?
Big shout out to my grandmother Norma Belcher for always buying me a subscription to the Woodford Sun at my home. So I always had the paper. So. Yeah. Before we leave, I want to recognize a very special lady, Mr. County Attorney's mother, Margaret George, at the age of 99, passed away in Lebanon. We sent our thoughts and prayers to you, and we missed you at our last meeting, but we know she was a very special lady to you, and that you had to be the apple of her eye and all the great things that you and your siblings have done. She lives on through you and the wonderful family that she leaves behind, but she goes to a better place, and we recognize her this evening. And if I could, Mr. County Attorney, I'd like to offer us to adjourn after a moment of silence in honor of your dear mother, Margaret George. If you would, please.